You picked up your phone to check the time. That was 11 minutes ago. You've now seen 3 videos, scrolled through 2 apps, read a notification you don't even remember opening, and you still don't know what time it is. That's not distraction. That's not weakness. That's engineering. The people who built your phone and every app on it didn't accidentally make it this hard to put down. They spent years, billions of dollars. They ran thousands of experiments specifically to figure out how to keep you exactly where you are right now. And the mechanism they built it on is one of the most powerful systems in your entire nervous system: dopamine. But not the dopamine you've heard about, not the feel-good chemical, the real one, the one that doesn't make you feel good. It makes you need to find out what's next. Today we're opening the machine. Most people think dopamine is about pleasure. It's not. That's the myth. Dopamine is about anticipation. Your brain releases dopamine before the reward. Not during it, not after. The moment you think something good might happen, the chemical floods in. In nature, this made sense. The rustling in the bush might be food. Dopamine fires, you pay attention, you act, you survive. But here's the problem. That exact mechanism, the one that kept your ancestors alive for thousands of years, is now being used to keep you staring at a loading screen. Because dopamine doesn't need a reward, it just needs the possibility of one. And every product on your phone was designed around that gap, that half second between the pull and the refresh, between the notification buzz and the unlock, between the post and the response. That gap is the product. In the 1950s, a behavioural psychologist named B.F. Skinner ran an experiment with pigeons. He put them in a box with a lever. Sometimes pressing it gave food, sometimes nothing. He called it a variable reward schedule. The pigeons that got random rewards became completely obsessed with the lever, more than the ones who got food every single time. Because certainty is boring to your brain. Uncertainty is addictive. Asa Raskin, the designer who invented infinite scroll, said in an interview years later, "It's as if they took behavioural cocaine and sprinkled it all over your interface." He invented pull to refresh, that gesture where you drag your feed down and wait. That pause, that half second before your content loads, that is a lever pull, deliberately designed to be one. He's publicly said he regrets it. Infinite scroll is the same mechanism. No natural stopping point, no page break, no end screen. Because a stopping point gives your brain a moment to disengage. And a disengaged brain might put the phone down, so they removed it. The average person scrolls the height of the Statue of Liberty every single day. Not because they want to, because the floor was taken away. Notifications are the other half of the machine. Every notification is a dopamine trigger. Not because the message matters, because it might. When your phone buzzes, your brain fires before you see the screen. You're already in anticipation mode, already committed. And here's the part that makes this more than a metaphor for addiction. You don't even need an actual notification. You just need to think you might have one. 90% of people report phantom vibrations, feeling their phone buzz when it didn't. Your brain has been so deeply conditioned to expect the signal that it has started manufacturing it. That's not distraction. That meets the clinical definition of conditioned response. The average person checks their phone 96 times a day, once every 10 minutes. Most of those checks are unprompted. The trigger was internal. The apps didn't just change your behaviour, they restructured your baseline. Here's what separates this story from most tech criticism. The people who built these systems started talking. Tristan Harris, former design ethicist at Google, testified before the US Senate that the attention economy is an arms race to the bottom of the brainstem. He described a race between product teams. Whoever builds the most addictive product wins the next quarter. The product is always people. Justin Rosenstein, the Facebook engineer who invented the like button, has disabled his own Facebook and uses a smartphone with heavy parental controls, set up by his own assistant. Sean Parker, founding president of Facebook, said publicly in 2017, "We need to give you a little dopamine hit every once in a while because someone liked or commented on a photo or a post. It's a social validation feedback loop. Exactly the kind of thing that a hacker like me would come up with because you're exploiting a vulnerability in human psychology. These people didn't find this out later. They knew while they were building it, and they built it anyway. That's worth sitting with. Stay with this because the final section isn't about willpower or digital detoxes. It's about the one thing that actually works, and it's structural. Back in 60 seconds. The dopamine loop doesn't run the same way for everyone. It personalizes. Every pause, every scroll past, every rewatch. Feeds a model. The algorithm isn't just showing you content, it's building a detailed map of your nervous system. It knows what makes you anxious, what makes you outraged, what makes you feel behind, and it uses that map to serve you content that extends the loop. Not because the algorithm is malicious, because engagement is the metric. And emotionally activated content drives more engagement than content that makes you feel calm or satisfied. In 2021, leaked internal Facebook documents, published as part of the Wall Street Journal's Facebook Files investigation, showed the platform's own researchers had concluded its algorithm exploits the human brain's attraction to divisiveness. They recommended changes. The recommendation was declined. Your emotional volatility inside these platforms isn't a side effect, it's a feature. The damage isn't dramatic, it's accumulative. It's the inability to sit with a thought for more than 40 seconds. The book you keep starting and never finishing. The meeting you are physically present for, but mentally absent. The low-level anxiety you can't trace back to anything specific but is always there. The dopamine machine doesn't break you all at once. It erodes you in microdoses, compounding over years, until the baseline has shifted so far that you can't remember what uninterrupted focus felt like. Microsoft research from 2015 found average human attention span had dropped from 12 seconds in 2000 to 8 seconds. That was before short-form video became the dominant content format. You're not less intelligent than the generation before you. You're not weaker. You have been, for years, every single day, up against a billion-dollar machine specifically engineered to fragment your focus. That's not a character flaw. It's an unequal fight. Willpower doesn't work. You cannot out-discipline 1,000 engineers whose entire job is to defeat your willpower. That's not a fair fight, and it was never designed to be one. What works is architecture. The same way these platforms use environmental design to capture you, you use environmental design to reclaim yourself. Turn off all non-human notifications. Not most, all. Calls and calendar alerts only. Every other badge, buzz and banner is a lever pull. Remove the levers. Move apps off your home screen. Don't delete them. Relocate them. Out of sight interrupts the reflex. The visual trigger is half the mechanism. Set one daily window. 30 minutes, same time, same platform. You're not removing it from your life. You're removing it from your nervous system's idle state. And one more thing, notice how you feel after you scroll. The dopamine machine produces stimulation, not satisfaction. What you feel after 20 minutes in a feed is almost always hollow. That's real data. Use it. The apps on your phone did not get good at keeping you there by accident. They are the product of decades of behavioral science, billions in research and thousands of engineers whose single job was to understand your brain better than you do. You are not addicted because you are weak. You are addicted because you are human. And the machine was built to exploit exactly that. The first step out isn't a detox, it's seeing the mechanism clearly. You've done that now,